Hello, I'm Adomako Aman. Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Real niggas make the world go around. 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 Hey, hey, hey.
So, let's talk about Atlanta. So the way how Atlanta happened was because my girlfriend Leha was making a trip to go see one of her close friends out there. I was just on the phone with her as we have like our normal conversations, and she was just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna go into Atlanta and you know, this is what's happening. And I was just like, girl, you're going to Atlanta? Like, maybe I should come. I used to live in Atlanta when I was younger, and that was when I was literally maybe at 11 or 12. I lived in Atlanta for maybe about a month or 2 months. My life is just so wild and crazy since birth. My life has been wild and crazy since birth. Like, my birth was wild and crazy. My birth was outrageous. So I was just like, you know, I've never been to Atlanta as an adult. You know, I wanted to have that experience. And so I was like, girl, can I tag along? And then we made it happen. We booked a hotel at the Intercontinental, and it was really cute. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. I was really impressed by myself. I was like, wow, like we got this really nice hotel for a really good deal. I am a ghetto ass bitch who's staying at this fancy ass hotel. I was like, whoa, like they have Balmain soap. And so it was really interesting. I didn't know that Balmain had like soap. And you know, we weren't there that long. I think we were there for like maybe 4 nights. We went to this place called Peter Station. I really enjoyed it because they had like a little art space in the back. And it was just like celebrating like these black artists. And then afterwards, there was a performance that was gonna happen. And I don't know, like this is kind of my experience, so I'm used to this, but I did feel like I felt a little bit of discrimination while I was there, just because I feel like I embody feminine energy. And you know, I tell people all the time, like I identify as a man, but I am two-spirited. I am, you know, half woman and half man, because simply I come from a woman and I come from a man. Like, it's just simple logic. Like, and you know, people can assume the identities that they choose to, but that's just how I identify. And so, you know, like I will always be like, I'm a man. Like, I am a man. Like, no matter how beautiful I look or how feminine or masculine, like I am a man. But I have feminine traits, and I feel like we all do, and it's important to honor that. To like get on a soapbox and talk about like how this place is treating me wrong. And that was not the only, that wasn't like that only highlight of the night, because we got to meet some really cool people, got to meet some artists and do some live art. And then we got to see a performance, and I was really moved by the performance at the Peter Station. cool, and this is gonna sound really crazy when I say it, but it's just to make a point. Like, I feel that like black people, we just, as a people, we are so multifaceted. And, you know, I feel like there's just like this singular narrative that's constantly pushed at what we are. And we're so beyond that. And like, Atlanta is just like such black excellence, like all around. And through my experience, I don't know in Atlanta where like black people are not educated, and you know, and I feel like in Atlanta you're like educated in the streets and you're educated, you know, in the scholarly world as well. Cause these guys were like playing the guitar and like playing the piano and playing the violin and playing all these instruments and singing and all these other things. But the way how they would dress as if they were like an Amigos group. Like, that sounds kind of wild, but it's the truth. Like you would see someone who looks like 21 Savage, but they're like they're very like, it's not like I'm street thug or whatever. It's like, you know, I have a degree, I went to Harvard, you know, and you'll meet a lot of people like that. Like, you'll see like people who are dressed like city girls and then be like, bitch, I went to Yale. You know, and I love that. And when you look at people like Summer Walker or the Migos or whoever, and you just like see black people as us as a people, like we're not a monolith. Like, yeah, I could be a stripper and had went to MIT. You know, I think that's so fascinating, and that was the constant experience that I had when I was there. It was just kind of like when I was there, I went to Bulldogs. And the vibe for me was just, I feel like gay people are the same everywhere you go. I feel like, yeah, I just said how like, you know, there are many different experiences, but I feel like there's like an umbrella of like what it means to be a gay person. And that's one of the reasons why I continue to tell stories, because I feel like that needs to be broken. I feel like we need to we need to bash that glass and say that we can be whatever we want to be as gay people. We could be whatever we want as black queer people. And I feel like there's like this one narrative, like there's this one aim in terms of who you have to be as a queer person. And because of that, like a lot of people follow it because they don't, you know, they've been tossed away from their families and all these other things. So it's important for me to be able to break that, because I feel like we need a multitude of we need like a variation of examples of who we are as queer people. And I just don't feel like we see that often. One thing that I thought was really interesting was that there were like these older queer black men playing cards in the middle of this bar. It was a mixture of like older and younger men. Something about it just kind of felt tribal. I don't know. I guess it's because it's just kind of like, you know, you learn from your father and then there's a son. And I just felt something about that situation was just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna teach you how to play cards, I'm gonna play cards, and like, even though there's this crazy party happening right now, we're gonna be playing cards in the middle of this party, in the middle of this bar. And I thought that was really interesting. I also just kind of feel too, that you'll see these older guys trying to hit on the younger guys, and you know, that's also like kind of an issue in the queer community, where it's just like, oh, I'm gonna be your mentor, but I'm also gonna fuck you. And it's just kind of like, let's like push the brakes, like, you know, it's just, I feel like there's so much we need to work on as a queer people. And I know that there are so many things to do in Atlanta, but the Lenox Mall, everyone's at the Lenox Mall. Like I saw maybe like a few celebrities. I saw Miss Lawrence there. We looked at each other for a second when we were at, I think we were in maybe Nordstrom or Macy's. It was something like that. And I was like, oh, okay, like there you go, hi. And I remember just seeing a few other people, I can't even recall. But it was just like so many like people who I would see at the Lenox Mall, and I'm like, wow, this is like a hangout spot. Like people come here to shop and eat and you know, like have a kiki moment. And I just remember like seeing like so many like long hair weaved black girls there, and I was just like, this is so good. Like I love seeing this. There was like this one car that I saw where it was like iridescent pink, and I was just like, these black people just know how to fucking show out. Like I'm like, this is just so wild. And I love it. Like just show out, own it, do your thing, shine bright. It was really amazing. I just also thought it was so wild that there was like a, what do you call it again? There was a, I can't even recall what it is, but like when you walk through, they have security at the mall. Like you have to go through security before you enter the mall, which I thought was really interesting. All the thugs that make it hot.
To all the homies who need
All the fucking homies. We're doing this tonight.
I'm the fucking moon. Like, you can't have my
We're doing this.
planet. Okay, so we're doing this.
Alright.
Is this our like
We gotta be real.
is this our Ouija board moment? I'm so scared. I'm like so close to this shit. Like I feel like I need to like
This is it.
stick it out, poke it out. Like
You know what?
I don't want you that close. Like I don't want to like drop that down that low. Damn, why is everybody watching? Even though it's like two people. I'm so scared. Okay, can we like hover over it so we can just light it all like at once? I was like, I'm like nervous.
Bring the next one. We gotta do this.
We gotta move this. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Magic. I love Atlanta. I wish I would have went out and did more, but it was only like 4 days that I was there. So the next time I'm going, I'm gonna like turn the fuck up and it'll be like a true moment. I loved being at the Lenox Mall. I wish I would have hung out there just a little bit longer because I had to catch a flight the next, like in the next few hours. So I was like, let me catch my flight.